Alright, guys, so it's your boy Milkman. I'll probably have an intro and everything to this before this as well. I don't really know. It's the first time we're doing this kind of like this in a little while. It's been a little while, obviously, if you've only seen my motivational videos. I'm in a completely different spot. If you have been part of the channel for a minute, you know I've moved and everything like that. Been living here for a little while now. So hopefully you guys are doing well. As always, like, sub, hit the bell so you guys know I'm going live on YouTube, playing games and stuff like that. I went to Safeway. It's a new idea. I went to Safeway a couple days ago, like a week ago almost, and just went around asking people if they wanted to hear about something. What would it be, motivationally, or just like someone else's opinion? Got a couple of things. This first one today, I'm trying to keep these under 5 minutes. First thing today is about long-term goals, and it's from Gabby and Nicole. So Gabby and Nicole, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a good day, staying safe, and all with all this shit going on. I think I wrote down a couple things, just like my ideas on it. It's definitely one of those things that is tough for a lot of people just because of the grand scheme of a long-term goal, whether it's something that's tiny or something that's big. You can have a long-term goal of I mean, obviously plenty of things. You can have the most random long-term goals. You want to drink X amount of water by the end of the year. You want to, I don't know, start your own company by the end of the year. Obviously, it can be a lot of different things. But one thing that kind of, I think, people need to understand right before they start trying to do things like that, is understanding that what they do matters, even if it seems like something that's minuscule. I know for me, doing YouTube and stuff like that, it's a little different. But like, even just trying to come up with new ideas on how to further that business, that idea, whatever it is, every day. I know it's something that's kind of weird, but even just this video was like a heat of the moment thing, and maybe it does well, maybe it doesn't. But at the end of the day, I'm doing it in hopes that it helps grow the channel, like helps me reach people, and helps people understand what I'm doing. Something else that's a big deal is taking like the little wins. Like, you gotta understand, like, it's tough. People start companies and stuff like that, and it's not very fun to start because it's a lot of like extra work. You gotta do a lot of stuff. You gotta keep doing stuff all the time. So you gotta keep doing stuff and just like continue to grind all the time. It's important just because it's very hard to just grind all the time and live grinding all the time. You do have to give up a lot of things if you really do want to like commit to like long-term goals, whether they're big or small. You do have to give up certain things. If you're trying to build a business, you're gonna have to give up a lot of free time. If you want to build like a YouTube channel, you gotta be willing to just be like, yeah, I'm not gonna go hang out with friends tonight. I'm gonna work in a video. I'm gonna edit, stuff like that. So just kind of things like that, where like you have two options and you have to decide which one you want to do, and you have to decide what you're more committed to. If your long-term goal, like for me right now, I would say my long-term goal is to like complete my dream of doing YouTube and stuff like that. It's a lot of just understanding, like, it's a grind. Like, it isn't just a sit down, do it once every once in a while, and boom, you're doing well. Whether it's a company, whether it's working out's a big one. Working out can be is probably one of the most common long-term goals. You want to be like super fit by the end of the year, and on more than, I mean, if you even just look at like people who are insane athletes, they don't drink a lot. They don't drink on their free time, really. If they do, it's like maybe a little bit, but you don't see athletes, you don't see professionals in any sport, or even people who are just like people in your day-to-day life, like friends you probably know. They don't, if they're like super committed to getting super fit and stuff by the end of the year, then they won't be drinking every night. They're gonna change their diet. They're gonna make like massive changes to their life in order to make sure that they get that done, which is something that is easy to think is not that big a deal. If you're like, oh, you're not going to drink tomorrow night, like, okay, like, oh, what's that going to do? It's an extra day of your body getting rest. It's an extra day to do something else. If you're hungover or something like that, it might affect your next day and everything like that. Overall, the long-term goals are just like super difficult things because it's hard to stay committed to them. And the only thing that you can do really to, like, at least in my opinion, or like in my experience at least, is taking those little wins and understanding that those little wins at some point add up. And it may not seem like it in the moment, but you just have to be able to envision yourself and think of yourself in that moment when you've completed your goal and you're done and you're like, holy shit, like I really did do that. And that sense of peace, that sense of happiness, whatever it is you're seeking from it, you have to know in yourself, not from anyone else. You can't get it from anyone else. You have to know in yourself that at the end of the line, you're gonna be happy, and you're gonna be super happy just because you completed this long-term goal you set out. I mean, I don't know how long ago it was, but however long ago, you've completed that, and you're proud of yourself for having completed that, and you don't really care about what everybody else thinks of what you're doing on that trail to getting there. You do what you want, when you want, how you want, in order to complete the goal you want, and then only care about whatever you are feeling in that moment. And I don't mean, when I say that, I don't mean like obviously you shouldn't just like crap on people and stuff like that. Like you can't be mean, but you have to understand if you're trying to achieve a long term goal, they aren't, and they may not understand why you're doing it the way you're doing it or why you're doing things the way you do them. But if you know you're doing it in order to complete that long term goal, then that's what matters. And that part of staying committed to it is going to be the hardest part because you're going to have people telling you no. You're going to have people telling you, hey, let's go do this tonight. Let's go party. Let's go drink. Let's go, I don't know, whatever it is. Let's go on vacation. Stuff like that. And obviously you have like normal stuff that comes up, especially with everything going on right now. It's kind of tough. To like do some things and everything like that, especially if like your long-term goal involves like being out and stuff like that. But you have to understand that there are steps you take on your own that seem so very tiny at the beginning, but they set you up for like really big success and help you understand everything. I'm not gonna get like super religious. I'm like a religious person. You don't have to be at all. But even if you just like look at some of the Bible stories, like Noah's Ark, as like as just a very like metaphorical thing. He didn't build the ark in a day. Like that's the whole point of the story is he built the ark every day, piece by piece by piece. And yeah, maybe it was like it was a divine thing telling him, but that doesn't have to be what it is for you. You can just do it on your own time and kind of think of each day as one of those planks of wood that Noah laid down on the ark. And then once you complete the ark, you've done all these little things, little pieces that you've put together to make this one big thing. And at the end of that, obviously Noah's reward was living and like bringing his family and stuff with him. For you, it can be something else. It can be a financial gain. It can be an emotional gain, a mental gain. So anything like that, you just have to understand that those little pieces of the arc were all built on separate days and different moments and different minutes, different seconds. And each piece you build every day, whether it's an extra hour of studying, an extra hour of working out, an extra hour of drinking water, if it's an extra hour of putting effort into a video, those little bits eventually turn you into someone who is just encapsulates everything that your goal is, and your long-term goal, whether it seemed difficult or easy at the beginning, becomes a reality just because you've taken apart each piece and set up yourself with this massive background and ability to have everything set out, and you complete your long-term goal just by having done all those tiny things and creating this massive arc and completing your goal. So there's my little motivational thing. Gabby Nicole, thank you for the idea. Hopefully it helped. If not, you can poop on me, whatever. It's fine. It's not that big a deal. I'm trying to get better at this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Spread the love, spread the joy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.